I live in the neighborhood or whatever. He started doing certain things and she got scared and she ran off. Not one time did the lady mention race at any point in time. Modern society, even if you saw a black dude with dreads and tats and all that stuff, he could be an athlete. He could be got gold teeth in his mouth. He could live here because he's an athlete.
It doesn't happen here. So we 100% have.
Stop right there. Go back to that building multi-million-dollar house. It look like you foreclosing on these homes.
Some people just like to go against the grain. Some people do it for attention, and some people do it so they can fit in. And in the black community, we have people that want to fit in with white people so bad. They want white people's validation so bad. And don't get me wrong, I love my white people. But there's black people that will go over and beyond to receive the acceptance from a white man. We call these people Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Tom's. So I recently did a video of a woman running for help when she thought that a black man was following her in her neighborhood, but he was really just on his way home.
We need you. What's going on?
Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do?
Papa.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So where are you going?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
Hey.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she had kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a silver truck.
A gray truck, and he came around the corner,
I don't know if you guys have a
I was in the street, and so I come up, and I just saw my kids, and so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming, and I'm like, that's...
She got all worried that some.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
How did he scare you, though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody? Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway, too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm
Well, there
sorry.
we got it. All right, sorry.
What?
I don't.
She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with two kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this is not, this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio.
It is.
I don't, you don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I
Yeah.
really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I live here.
It was
That-
the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
So everybody in my comments basically was saying like, yeah, this is pretty much racial profiling. But I seen a lot of people commenting, no, you need to go watch Officer Tatum's reaction to this. He broke it down perfectly. So Officer Tatum is a YouTuber that has over 3 million subscribers and basically panders to white people and says whatever he has to say for white people to accept him. Like, I don't know if you guys remember the Sonya Massey situation where she was boiling hot water and rebuked the officers, and the officers basically shot and unalived her in her own kitchen. Well, Officer Tatum made a whole video explaining how you shouldn't throw hot water at an officer without expecting to get shot. His whole audience turned against him. The man will literally do anything and say anything to go against black people. But let's see what he said about this situation.
Because I like to call out the shenanigans. So in this clip that you're about to see, is allegedly a real estate developer. He's sharing footage on a Ring camera. So I guess this lady is walking down the road. A guy who she don't know pulls up in the truck and say, "Hey, are you looking for somebody?" And it spooks the lady. And right off the bat, he don't say, "Hey, I live here, I live in the neighborhood," or whatever. He started doing certain things and she got scared and she ran off.
He's saying that she got spooked because she felt like she was getting followed, and he said, "Hey, are you looking for somebody?" Shouldn't he be the one that's spooked if a stranger is standing in front of his house that he did not expect to be standing there? Like, y'all, imagine pulling up to your house at night and you see a stranger standing at your door that you did not expect. Kids and all. Are you gonna hurry up and explain to this person, "Hey, I live here, by the way. No, trust me, I really live here"? Or are you going to ask, like, "What are you doing in front of my door? Like, are you looking for somebody?" Especially if you know your family's in the house and your wife didn't tell you or your husband didn't tell you that, "Hey, we're having guests tonight." It's late at night and you're standing at my door. Why would I jump to explain something to you? Shouldn't you be explaining to me why you're on my property? I should be the one that's spooked. I should be the one that's getting some type of understanding. It should not be me explaining myself to somebody that's on my property that shouldn't be on my property. I'd ask the same question, like, "Are you looking for somebody? Do you need some help?" Like, I'm the owner of the house. So if you're standing at my door, then, "Hey, how can I help you? My wife don't know you. I don't know you. Like, how can I help you?" I'm not going to jump to, "Hey, I live here. You may be scared because I just pulled up in my driveway and I'm driving slow down the street. So yeah, you might be scared." So no, I'm not jumping to that conclusion. You're in front of my house. I'm spooked. What are you doing here?
I live in the neighborhood or whatever. He started doing certain things and she got scared and she ran off. Not one time did the lady mention race at any point in time. If you look at the guy, you couldn't tell if he was black or Mexican. And the lady described behaviors that would make somebody afraid. But then when you put the melanin people in a situation, they got to think, "Oh, it's because she a white woman." I would argue this. Could it be because he was black? Maybe. But it's 2025. 2024, if this happened in the past and they're just reviving it. White people have seen black people be successful. White people are not. People act like we living in the 30s. When white people see black people, they're not shocked that black people are successful. They're not shocked that black people living in the community. They're not shocked.
No. He just said there's a hanging tree down there to hang people like me. That's racist. That is racist. Y'all go take his back and he's being racist?
Crying motherfucker. He's a crying motherfucker. You know what?
That is fucking horrible of you.
So I'm not going to play too much from that video, but that video clearly shows that there's still racism that goes on in America. So we're not going to act like, "Oh, it's 2025. We're not in the 30s and this stuff just does not exist." If you want to go see that full video, go on X and search racism in Virginia City.
Then maybe she wouldn't have been afraid of him, but put yourself in her shoes. If she see a person in a truck and she think a certain way about it, it's not abnormal to be afraid. Is it goofy? Does it seem silly? In retrospect, yes. But why do black people got to make everything about race? To me, it seems like a woman who's hyper afraid of getting attacked by a man, being vulnerable by herself with her daughter, than it is about whether the man is black or not. And I feel like black people like lust for this. And in the pursuit of trying to expose racism, I think they are being racist in that pursuit. Nobody mentioned race one time. Why can't they just be a silly woman that they look at it now that it's a silly woman, but maybe an afraid woman that just thought the man was something he wasn't? Why it got to be about race?
He said no one mentioned race, as if she would say, "Oh my God, you scared me because of your black ass face." Once again, you have covert racism and overt racism. And many black people have been unalived and incarcerated because of hidden racist bias. So exposing racism when racism happens speaks towards people like you that act like racism just doesn't exist. And black people just have even opportunity everywhere they go.
You told me that you said you didn't think I live here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
So you guys watched the video. You know, she seems to be exaggerating in her fears, but at the same time, I mean, the guy did pull up. he said, I'm driving slow because I was looking at the lights. like that lady know that he lived there. He's looking at lights. You see a guy in a truck and you by yourself and he's driving slow down the street. And you look back and you're like, why is this guy creeping down the street? This is weird. This is odd. Then he rolls the window down and say, are you looking for somebody? Now, and then she asked, do you live here? And of course, if you are, when you add 1 + 1 and that equals 2, then a person becomes afraid. Why can't people just give people grace and say, yeah, that's what happened? And another lady say, yeah, that's what happened. I'm sorry. I can imagine. You a woman out here, you see me driving up, and then I'm creeping, and you don't know I'm creeping because I'm looking at the lights. You think I'm following you. Now you got your mind made up that I'm going to get abducted, and you do that. That makes sense to me.
If somebody turns into my property, I'm not going to assume that they're scared or they may see me as a threat. No, I'm thinking about the safety of my family. Why is a stranger walking onto my property while my family is in the house and I don't know this person? I'm hearing so many things that Officer Tatum is saying, but nobody is talking about how extreme her screaming for help was. That could have winded up being really bad. Like, what if somebody in the neighborhood was just as frantic as her, ran outside with a gun, didn't even think twice, and approached this man, all because this woman was screaming and yelling for help? That is problematic.
Looking at the lights, you think I'm following you. Now you got your mind made up that I'm going to get abducted, and you do that. That makes sense to me. If the lady mentions somebody's race or something like that, I understand. And I'll say this to the bitter end. I live in an all-white neighborhood. Nothing but white people. I don't think I've seen a black person. Have you seen a black person in our neighborhood?
Just you.
Just me. I got tats all over my arm. I ain't never had nobody say nothing to me. You know why? Because in modern society, even if you saw a black dude with dreads and tats and all that stuff, he could be an athlete. He could got gold teeth in his mouth. He could live here because he's an athlete.
So because you live in a neighborhood that nobody has said anything to you, like, hey, what you doing, black man? Like, they haven't said anything racist to you. You don't think that neighborhood knows about you? That neighborhood knows. If you're the only black person in that neighborhood, best believe they know about you. I'm not saying all white people is like this. I'm not saying all white people are racist or anything crazy. But he's trying to act like this stuff just doesn't exist. He's really trying to pander to an audience of white people because he believes that they will agree with what he's saying. So he also reacted to the interview that the Jenkins family did with Shannon Sharpe. I'm not going to play the whole clip. I'm just going to show you a little bit of it so you can see where his mindset is at about that interview.
Have you thought about potentially even leaving that neighborhood and going elsewhere? Or you saying, nah, y'all not finna run us up out of our home?
100%. I've been in Ohio my whole life, and I face racial discrimination at its highest peak. I'm a stereotype person, tattoos, dreadlocks, a man that's in the professional world, in the real estate development world, that you don't see too many minorities building multi-million-dollar homes. It doesn't happen here. So we 100% have.
Stop right there. Go back to that. Building multi-million-dollar homes. It looks like you foreclosing on these homes. Why are you on here lying or embellishing at worst? That you out here building multi-million-dollar homes. I'm a black man, stereotypical in real estate with dreads, and this is your portfolio. These are the things that you are involved in. This ain't a good look. Black man in America and building multi-million-dollar homes. This is what you involved in. So instead of you act like I'm a black man, how about your work product? And nobody knows about this stuff because nobody gonna look it up because he the victim. But go look him up. Go look him up. I done had people reach out to me about this stuff.
I find it so crazy on how sympathetic he was for that lady that was crying for help. But now he's bringing up this man's work history as if that discredits anything that he's saying. Foreclosures can happen for so many reasons, but that is not an example for somebody's character or to use to say that he's lying about anything. This man wants to be against his people so bad, he's willing to bring up anything to throw dirt on our names. I want to hear y'all feedback. Until next time, man, it's been your boy TybuggyTV. I'm out of here, man. Peace.